Right. Well, we'll see how it goes. I am really excited. Today, I am going to be talking all about, well, 10 things that you need to do when getting started on Pinterest. And I have heard a lot. I share a lot of information on Pinterest, and I've heard people say, you share all this stuff, but like I have never done Pinterest, or I have Pinterest, but I haven't done anything with it. Can you help me with that? So that's why this today's topic is so important. So if you are someone who has said, I know I should be using it, but dot, dot, dot. I tried Pinterest, but it didn't work for me, or I don't have time to also work on Pinterest. Then, if any of those sound familiar to you, then today is going to help. And I always like to start these with one number that I think is super important. And it's 454. And everyone's like, what? As of the second quarter of 2021, Pinterest had 454 million monthly active users worldwide. Let that sink in for a second. That's a lot. That's a lot of people. And it's 454 million that come each and every month to Pinterest. So you definitely want to be on there. One mistake that people make is that they think that they can create a profile, throw some pins on there, and their blog will blow up, or they'll get a ton of clients. And sadly, that's not correct. It does take some work for sure. Pinterest is valuable, and my clients find a ton of success, but there, of course, is work that needs to be done. However, you don't need to spend more than about an hour a week if you have a strategy, a business strategy, and you put that into effect with a process or a system for how you market in general. If you don't, then definitely send me a DM because I'd like to help you. So here are the 10 things that you need to do to get started. Or to fix your account. Number one, it's all in a name. On Pinterest, there are two names that you need to be aware of. There's a username and your display name. So the username is the name that's in your URL, your public URL. But the display name is the name under your profile image. And like most everything on Pinterest, it's searchable. So don't just put your business name in there and be done with it. You definitely want to include keywords. Keywords are very similar to search engine optimization. It's basically what your clients are typing on that keyboard to actually get your client to find your content. So for me, I have Jen Vasquez marketing coach, right? Or for my wedding photography business, it's Jen Vasquez photography for weddings and branding. So you want to be very specific, and make sure that it really identifies your ideal client. If you have a problem updating it, check on the guidelines from Pinterest. Lately, I've had clients tell me that it keeps giving this reminder that says use your personal name or your business name. But if you get creative, usually you could make that work. But if you have some problems, send me a DM because it may be that Pinterest is changing things in that area. They don't always let us know ahead of time. So if you haven't already, go do that right now before potentially they change that. Number two is to use the same profile image as Instagram. And even if you're a business, people buy from people. So you want to really use that image. It makes people more comfortable than just a logo. If you're a huge team or a company like Apple, right, you're going to use your logo. But basically, you want to use whatever is on Instagram because, and I'm not even joking, 90%, a huge percent, I'm just guessing, 90% of people will go to your Instagram to make sure you're a real person first, to see your current work, even though we can post any work we want. That's the impression that potential clients have. And I'm telling you that I did some research at the end of 2019, I contacted all of my brides and found out that a majority of them told me they found me on Instagram. But when I asked an extra question of oh, did you use a hashtag? Because FYI, of course, we want to know what that hashtag is. But or were you referred to me? And people pause and they say, oh, well, actually, I found your blog post on Google, or I found you on Pinterest and saw that you were in my area. They're going to tell you where they were last when they contacted you, not actually where they found you. So make sure you're asking that additional question. But once people do find you, even if they are on Pinterest and then they go to your blog and then they go to your Instagram to make sure you're a real person, obviously you want to make sure those things match. You want to make sure that the content that you have on your Pinterest is similar or the same to what you have on Instagram, and use the same image helps them to confirm that you're the same person. I know I have, I'm assuming many of you have, where you're looking for someone on Instagram and you see a whole list of people. Don't you always go to that image to make sure you have the right person? That's why you want the same image. Now, a tip is the dimensions of your profile picture are 165 by 165 pixels. So you don't want it to get stretched out. Make sure you use those pixel sizes to make sure that the image looks good, right? Number 3 is to create an effective bio. Again, Pinterest is searchable in almost every area on your Pinterest profile. And this is really an important one, both visually to visitors or potential clients that pop onto your account and they know instantly who you are and what you do if you're doing it right, but also for the Pinterest algorithm. Pinterest takes your whole account, your description on your profile description, all your pins, all of that information, and they put it all together. And if it makes sense, you're kind of more trustworthy and they're going to actually spread your information out there more. So make sure that everything is really cohesive. When potential clients, which is, sorry, I'm looking at my notes and I already said it. So as an example, for me, for my Pinterest business, I'm also a wedding and branding photographer, but for my Pinterest and marketing business, I have on my profile, I help female entrepreneurs go from overwhelm to an easy, streamlined marketing strategy that includes Pinterest and repurposing content to grow their business. Very simple, but you'll notice that I have a bunch of keywords in there. We're going to talk about keywords in a second. Number 4, claim everything. For sure, claim your website. For sure, claim your Instagram. If you have a shop, if you have YouTube, whatever you have, claim it all in Pinterest. It helps both with analytics, but it also helps the algorithm to know that you've got this big business that's everywhere, right? Definitely claim everything. It makes a huge difference, not just in analytics, but for people to be able to see all of those things. Number 5, you really want to create around 10 boards with about 30 pins and include these 2 boards that I'm going to tell you in a second. There is no rhyme or reason or specific numbers. But I find that for my clients and my membership and also my VIP day clients and also the clients that I manage their Pinterest account, I have found that if you have a minimum of like 10 to 15 boards with about 20 to 30 pins on each board, it does better. The account does better. It gets seen more. So when considering what boards to create, you want to start with these 2 effective ones. Number 1 is your business name. You should have a business name board. I have for my photography business, Jen Vasquez Photography. Every pin that you create, all of your content is going to eventually go on that board. Second, you should have a board named free resources. Or something similar. And this will go a long way to attract attention when a potential client pops on your profile, whether it's from an idea pin or they want to get more information, they go onto Pinterest. You want them to, people love free. Let's just put it out there. And what are you going to pin on that free resources board? Every single one of your blog posts, because that's free content, free information to help them. Every lead magnet, every course, every masterclass, whatever you have that you're giving away for free, you want it on this board. It's a way that they can go and immerse themselves in all the ways that you can help for free, which always always, which normally will lead, if someone is wanting to get help and wants to pay for it, it can lead to business, right? This is that step in that know like um, process of marketing for them to get to know you, like you, trust you, and then they'll work with you. For the other 8 boards, consider your content pillars in your business. It's really important. For my wedding photography, or for my photography business board, I have wedding themes, wedding colors, branding photo tips. Like I have all the things that I talk about in my business. Number 6, keywords are key. First, what are keywords? I think I've mentioned this before, but it's basically whatever your ideal client is typing in that search bar on Pinterest or Google, because Pinterest is always in that search. Whatever they're typing in a search, that's you want your content to come up. So you want to use those keywords. So a tip is do not use keywords that will attract your competitors, right? And don't use industry type acronyms or industry specific terms. For example, photographers will sometimes refer to engagement sessions as e-sessions. Don't use that as a keyword, truly, because all you're going to do is get other photographers to come look at your content, right? The majority, I would say, of engaged couples are going to actually type engagement session, right? And typically you want to also include the location that they live in. So this leads me to another tip. If you're location based, now, even though I'm located in San Jose, California, I do branding shoots and weddings all over the country. So I personally am going to always use all of my community specific searches for my area that I live in. When I do a wedding or a branding shoot in another state or another city or another area, I'm going to use all of their words for that content. But for your profile, for the majority of your work is going to be local, then you want to use those words. So for instance, I live in San Jose. It's also known as Silicon Valley. It's also known as the Bay Area. It's also known as SF Bay Area or San Francisco Bay Area. It's known as Northern California. I mean, I can go on and on. I can use all the cities within a 40-mile radius if I want to as a keyword to attract those ideal clients. Make sure that you do the research. Search on Pinterest and Google to see what pops up. And remember, when you search on Google, you usually, if you're looking for a location specific thing, you're going to use your city in that search. Do the same thing for your content. Here's a tip. There is a helpful Chrome browser plugin. They might have it for other browsers, but I know they have it for Chrome, called Keywords Everywhere. 100% free. Every time I do a Google search, I'm going to test out a blog post, for instance. I'm going to put a title that I think I want to use. And on the right side, it'll give me alternative titles or alternative searches that are searchable, right? That are good. And so that's been super helpful. There's a lot of paid ones too, but I always like Keywords Everywhere for a free one for you to get started until you get real serious. Number 7 is to use what Pinterest gives us. They're literally giving us things, and of course they want us to use them. So you want to install that pin it button on your browser. This is a way you can pin directly from any website, and the pin button not only makes it easy for you to curate content, but it also will link directly to that content. Makes it super easy. Download the Pinterest app. If you're an iPhone or Android user, the Pinterest app lets you manage your page on the go and directly from your phone. And tip, it gives you more tools than on your desktop. As an example, you can now you can now link affiliate links. So if you're an Amazon affiliate, you can link that in there. And you can also, for like, let's say wedding people, you can tag other vendors that were on that wedding and get you seen by far more people. That can only typically be done from the app on your cell phone. So get used to it, get friendly with it, because it gives you all kinds of things. And it's an easy way to do idea pins as well. Idea pins is the next thing that the Pinterest has given us. All businesses should use it at least once a month if you want to be successful on Pinterest as a business. Full stop. But I actually recommend all of my clients to do them weekly. And for all of my Pinterest management clients, we create idea pins each week for them. And sometimes they use them for reels as well. But with the cell phone app of Pinterest, you can tag Amazon affiliate links. I just went over this in my notes. And it also lets you preview idea pins before you publish them, because once you publish idea pins, you can't edit them. This might be diving a little deep, but you can see some of my other videos on idea pins. And in fact, if you want to see my masterclass that's free, in my DMs, type replay and you will be able to watch that video. So Pinterest also has amazing analytic tools. You can find Pinterest analytic features by going to analytics.pinterest.com or click on your analytics button on the top left of your account. This tool tracks the growth of your profile, who's engaging with your pins, what people are pinning from your website, and you want to check your analytics on a regular basis. I have other videos and I'll be doing other videos on analytics and what analytics you want to look for. But for today, just know you want to look at them. Number 8, you want to create a strategy. You need to take what your business goals are for the month or the quarter and translate that into a strategy or a system of pinning on Pinterest, what you're currently marketing and what you're currently wanting people to know. A simple way is to create a blog. And when you create your blog once a week, you're going to create graphics. Well, at that session, that hour or whatever that you're creating graphics, make sure you're creating graphics for Instagram and Pinterest. This is a way that you can repurpose very, very, very simply. Each blog post can become 3 to 5 Instagram posts, and it can become an idea pin, a video pin, several pins. Like, you definitely create a system so that it makes it easy for you to work on Pinterest. And Number 9, share with everyone. This is one of the biggest mistakes that I see people making is they have a Pinterest, but they don't share about it. So now that Instagram has a link option on your stories, you can include your Pinterest profile in that link. You can actually do a link directly to a pin. You can do a link anywhere, right? And also you can go ahead and take your Instagram post, story, or reel and share that directly onto your Pinterest page as well. That's something that you definitely want to do in the app. It doesn't work as well on desktop. But yeah, so you want to share it. You also want to share your Pinterest profile in blog posts, Facebook posts, LinkedIn, in emails to your clients. And also, like, when you send a DM with information, you can also send maybe like me as a photographer, I'll send my wedding advice link in my welcome email to my wedding clients because it's chock full of a ton of wedding planning tips, right? Use your Pinterest as a tool, not just a platform to share your content. And last, consistency is key. I don't know how else to say that. Just like with any other social media platform, which Pinterest is considered, even though it's a search engine, you have to be consistent. You have optimized your Pinterest at this point. Let's say you've created a foundation, and you're telling everyone about your Pinterest profile. Now you need to keep continuing to pin to it, right? You need new content, new information to go on there. And you don't have to do 18 million blogs. You can take one blog and create 3 to 5 pins that take a different angle, but it's all going to the same content, right? A couple ways to help you to be consistent is you can use the Pinterest scheduler. The only drawbacks are that you can only load a certain amount of pins and only a couple weeks out. Plus, you can't pin one pin to multiple boards. You have to do it manually, but it is free. So if you're just starting out, that's a great thing to do. And you can pin 2 or 3 pins each day going out. Obviously, you'll want to ramp that up when you have more content on there, but I always say just get started, right? Tailwind is my secret tool for all of my clients, and it enables my clients to truly spend only 30 to 60 minutes once a week pinning because they're already creating those graphics and then they just go to that folder where they have the graphics and they share all the pins onto Tailwind, and Tailwind slowly releases it over time. It is incredible. You can pin directly from your blog. So sometimes, like every 6 months or so, I'll repin other blogs just directly from the blog, makes it quick and easy. Tailwind will slowly release them, as I said, over time and on a schedule that will get you results, right? They know the time that's the most effective. If you want a free trial, send me a DM. I'll be happy to share that with you. And then, as a bonus tip today, you need to make every single pin effective. There are a lot of things that you should have on your pin, but let me just give you several. You must, well, you should have a text overlay that tells people what they're going to find when they click on the pin using keywords, your website, a call to action. And I send me a DM if you want. I have 80 free calls to action for pins, so you don't have to like think or reinvent the wheel. And you want to use keywords everywhere in the text overlay, in the title, and in the description. And let's say you have 3 to 5 pins, right, from this blog post. Each one should have a different text overlay, a different title, and a different description. Try to do different angles from each content, that way you get a wider or a broader audience to look at it depending on what someone's going to be texting. And you can find more information. Send me a DM if you want more information. But I hope that these tips helped you and encouraged you to start or revive an old Pinterest account. Whew. Okay. That is it. Let me go ahead and end the stream for YouTube. And